So the best thing you could do, probably the best thing you could do is say, hey, we're doing fine right now. We elected you. Now come back and ask for re-election in 2 years and don't go to work. And here's your paycheck. In fact, go up it a bit if you won't come in. I'm a bit facetious there, but work expands the amount of space and time given. So if you're a full-time legislator, you're going to have to prove why you have to be full-time. So you're looking for all sorts of bills. When you hear a legislator talk about passing a higher percentage of bills than most other legislators, you got to run from that.
Mm-hmm. I know, that's what I think. We've got all these politicians that are trying to find a way to spend their money, and they're working, I don't know how many hours a day.
Well, they're called lawmakers for a reason, and they just love to make laws.
You won't find any harder working people than members of Congress or the state legislature, I can tell you that. But that doesn't mean the work they're doing is good. They work. I mean, the hours are unbelievable, and my wife will attest to that. We do it because it's expected. We do it because we enjoy it. But you know, I didn't pass many bills when I was in the state legislature for the 16 years I was there. But I did sponsor and co-sponsor 26 tax cuts that passed. And I look at that as my best work. Proposal A, I was the prime co-sponsor of Proposal A. It took us 6 years to finally pass it, but it cut property taxes 50%, put a cap on the rate of growth at 5% or inflation. And it said to schools, you're going to have to live under the same economic environment as the people who pay your bills. They're not happy with Proposal A now that we have a bad economy down there, but they're learning to live under it. And I think those are things. But no, I'm not a term limit guy, and I think if we can prove it by this state. Has our state gotten better since term limits?
No.
I was the first term limited class.
Well, it hasn't got better in 8 years, so let's put it.
Well, I would contend for you that even the last 2 years of Engler's administration, with the first new term limited class in, I was grandfathered in when we passed that term limited law. But the new class, they began spending money to get their next job, which was a Senate seat. And Republicans and Democrats. I contend term limits hurt our state. I'd rather go to part-time, and I wish that it would, there's a member of the state legislature now from Grand Rapids who has a bill for part-time.
We never get our budget. They can't do it in a year. How
They would get it done under part-time.
Oh, they'd have to.
If you mandate it, and you go back and live with the people who you pass bills on, you're going to get some reality quick. I mean, even if you go back to the assembly line, at Ford or Chrysler or GM, you're going to hear people say, why did you vote for that? I think it'll change perspective. And again, when you look at states like Texas, meets every other year, Indiana meets for a short term 1 year and a longer term the other year. 120 days and 70, I think it's 75 days the second year. Indiana's cleaning our clock economically. Less government. So I'd say, don't go for term limits. You have the power to term limit at the ballot box every 2 years for a member of Congress or a state house. Every 4 years for state senator or a U.S. senator. You have, or 6 years for a U.S. senator. You have the term limit tool. The trouble is, America's citizens has not used the term limit tool as they should have. Until
well, I think personally it would be good to get some other people in there to experience it. So, I mean, I'd like my neighbor to tell me what really goes on there. I mean, you probably wouldn't believe it.
I mean, why would you term limit Michelle Bach? Any of you know her record?
Yeah.
Why would you term limit her?
Great woman.
I mean, this is only second term, but why would you term limit Mike Pence?
There's a lot of good people out in the world, I tell you. And it doesn't stop with Michelle Bachmann. I mean,
no, it doesn't. It doesn't.
She's a good example of term limits, a plus for it.
It's a plus. It's a plus, but we should have done it at the ballot box.
Oh, yeah, we should have done it for you.
We got suckered into her victim mentality.
Not all of us.
Not me.
I'm talking to the state.
But how do we get the other to part-time? That's never on your ballot.
You push your
It could be.
representatives.
It could be.
You
know,
can get a, you
I
can
got
get
it.
Anybody's been in there.
You
and
get
go
a
up,
petition, we
roll
started a
out.
petition when I was doing it, and the
Right.
first time, we didn't come close to 304,000 signatures we needed. Next time, we found a independently wealthy businessman who said, I'll fund a petition signature gathering drive. We got 275,000 that time, we still didn't need 304.
I never see these people, and I'm out and about.
Michigan